We are just about to start with our next speaker. This is Diana from MyTona. Hi, Diana.
Hello. Hi. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I do. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Also fine. Very excited for your talk. Diana, quick question before we start. You've been presenting with us in April, right now, when we were running White Nights launch week. Are you still based in Yakutsk?
Yes, I'm still in Yakutsk. I think no one can travel right now, so I,
All
I
right.
I I guess I'll be here till the end of the year.
Well, still, I believe. Do you have polar day right now? You have very long day. Also, like almost the white night.
Yes, yes, we do. It actually gets dark only for 2 or 3 hours.
Well, almost like here in St. Petersburg, where we are physically live today. We're just about to start. Over to you, and good luck with the presentation.
Thank you. All right. I hope that you can see my screen. Yep. Uh, and yeah, my name is Diana, and today I would like to share with you one interesting case on how we improve our game together with our players in our game Cooking Diary. So let me briefly introduce myself. I joined MyTona in 2017 as a business development manager, and you can contact me for any questions. I'm happy to chat. Here is my email address on the slide. So this is a short plan of what I'm going to talk today. At first, I will introduce MyTona and Cooking Diary, so you will have a little bit of context. And then we will dive into the details on ways how to improve your game with your players through different tools available, such as analysis, playtests, questionnaires, and reviews. And I will share you some practical examples on how we did it. MyTona is a developer and publisher of mobile games and one of the largest game development companies in Russia and CIS. Now we have more than 900 professionals working all around the world. Our offices are located in St. Petersburg, Ivanovo, Yakutsk, Vladivostok, in Singapore, and in Auckland, New Zealand. But now with COVID-19, we are 100% switched to work from home. Before the pandemic, we had a distributed team working from different countries such as Brazil, Ukraine, Kazakhstan. So it was easier for us to move to remote work. Actually, our Yakutsk office moved in one day, but this is a completely different topic. Here you can see how the company developed through time. The company was founded in 2012 by twin brothers Alexei and Afanasy Osnitsky in Yakutsk, where I'm actually located right now. And they've started to create games back in 2000s. At first it was PC games, and in 2012 we moved to mobile games. The first game that we developed and published ourselves was Seeker's Notes. Seeker's Notes is a game in the hidden object genre. It helped us grow and open up new offices and projects. Currently, we have 3 games in global and 2 games in soft launch in our portfolio. They are Seeker's Notes, the game that is actually turning 5 years old this month. And for this 5 years, Seeker's Notes was entertaining players all around the world. And it's doing pretty well. Cooking Diary is the game I'm going to talk about today. Ravenhill is another game in hidden object genre with a mix of match 3. Riddleside, a match 3 game in a detective setting, and our first mid-core game, Manastorm Arena of Legends. It's an arena brawler in a completely new genre. Let me briefly talk about Cooking Diary. In game, players become chefs who have to serve their clients as fast as possible. By the way, that's me in game, but today I've purchased a new set of clothing, so I look differently. I didn't make a new screenshot, but yeah, the outfit is pretty amazing, by the way. Yeah, and as you've noticed, you can actually customize your character as much as you want. You can choose like everything and build your character from the scratch. Also, you can customize your restaurants, and players enjoy the game because of its vivid art style and high socialization. The game is popular all around the world. Here in deep blue, you can see our key markets from where the most players are. The game was featured several times on App Store and Google Play. Also, the game received the Game of the Day in more than 200 countries. One of the biggest achievements for the games are winning IMGA and Webby Awards in People's Choice and People's Voice nominations. This means that the not only honorable jury selected this game, but our players who love and enjoy the game voted for us to win these awards. How we did it? You can see from the charts that we gradually climbed to the top grossing charts. There wasn't a moment when we had a rapid spike up or down. We hope that our sustained growth will continue with our players and it will get to the top. We have one rule that drives us. There is always some room for improvement, and we never stop developing and improving the game. But how to make players like us and what we do more? I think this is a question that haunts all of the game developers. And the answer is, of course, a data-driven decision. And how to get this data to know what to improve in game is another question. And the answer is through analysis, playtests, reviews, and questionnaires. I've highlighted the key ways that we've tried in our game, but of course there are many, many other ways. First is analysis. I won't talk in great detail about analysis as I'm sure it's the most obvious one and it's the most common practice, and I'm sure all of you covered this up. I wanted to highlight it that the analytics team just have two tasks to solve in a game company. First one is to find a weak spot in game. Second one, find a way to deal with it. They're like detectives who investigate the case and eliminate it, making the game better with the help of data. Let's move to playtests. There are several kinds of them. So the first one is internal playtesting, when you test a game with your colleagues, friends, or family. External playtesting, when you invite people to test your game. Here you can select your target audience. And of course, outsource playtesting. Here I decided not to show examples, not to advertise companies here, but you can Google them yourself. It's actually much easier to do an outsource playtesting. They can help you to find your target audience in different countries, whereas with external playtests, you are bound geographically. There are many outsourcing companies who provide an outstanding service. And with internal playtests, it's very easy to run and ask your colleagues to playtest the game. But because all of us are working in the game dev industry, we play a lot of games ourselves, and our behavior can screw the data. It can also differ from the target audience, and our feedback can also be biased. That's why it's, of course, better to do an external playtest. And this is how we did it for Cooking Diary. We invited people to play the game before it even soft launched. Players played one of the first builds of Cooking Diary, and we selected all kinds of people. They had different professions, they had different age, gender, everything. And the main focus of the playtest was the first session, the top of all funnels, to know how the introduction of the game begins. The better the first session, the better the whole lifetime of the player will be. So we closely looked at the tutorials, and here you need to note that many people nowadays play games and don't make a long and very detailed tutorial. It can bore players, whereas very light tutorial can also be harmful. And players want to understand some features and how it works, and they will churn. So balancing tutorial is crucial. Also, we looked at gameplay and to what extent player understands the goals of the game. Did they understand how to play the game? Do they agree with the rules? Do they like the dynamic of the game? And of course, UX UI design. Here on the photo, you can see how players position their hands, closing some parts of the screen. What and it actually might prevent them from seeing some important user interface elements. And it's always important to keep that in mind, whether your buttons are located and how comfortable they are to use. And of course, balance. At first, your balance is based on mathematical calculation, on hypothesis. But during playtest, you can actually try your balance live for the first time. You will see first live data, whether your balance is engaging and understandable, and this is just great. It's a little treasure hidden there. And of course, the most important thing that you will receive after playtests is hypotheses. By understanding on how players engage with the game, you can build hypotheses that you can later test during the soft launch. And let's now move to reviews. Your reviews are tools that most of us use during ASO optimization. Good reviews attract more players. Yeah. And the higher the reviews, the higher the chances that players will convert and download your game. However, that's not it. There is an ocean of useful information that you can get from players' reviews. You can check the dynamics of reviews. They're like whether there are more or less of them after the update. This is a big signal to the game that something has changed. And a big advice here is to segment the reviews, whether they are positive, negative, or neutral. A surge in reviews will help you understand whether the update was successful or not, whether a new feature was liked by players, and so on. Also, you can segment your reviews by words, which were written more often or the other way around. And the best way is to segment them by topic. For example, you will receive mixed review, and by segmenting them by topic, you will understand, for example, that your players like the design but not your monetization. This helps you find weak spots in the game and works towards solving them. So you don't need to change the whole game, just bits and pieces here and there. And of course, reviews help you to identify technical problems. All of us have a quality assurance team, but sometimes it's hard to identify rare bugs. But with millions of players, a wide array of devices, a zoo of devices, you can find rare bugs and identify them and solve them. And it's actually sometimes they're so rare that even bug trackers can find them. And also reviews are user customer satisfaction. There's lots of materials on the internet on how to work with user customer satisfaction, and a big advice here is to check it. And of course, players' feedback is always important. In our company, we have a machine learning team, and this is an example on how they help us and how they help our support team to categorize the reviews by topic. The machine automatically places them according to the words in the review. So if there is a guild or a chat or an update, that means that we have some technical problems and so on. This tagging helps to save time and optimize support team workflow. Of course, we don't stop here, and we are trying to find more ways on how to optimize our workload with machine learning, but it's a wholly different topic, and we will discuss it in a different lecture maybe sometime. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is questionnaires. You can find like lots of questionnaires on the internet, and you can create your own questionnaire in game. If you have a strong community, you can do it there. What can you learn from questionnaires? First is Net Promoter Score, whether your players would recommend your game to their friends. You can get a feedback. It can also help your live ops. And also it increases user loyalty. With the help of surveys, loyalty of players actually increases. Players understand that their opinion is valued, and they feel that that connection with the development team, and it's very important in building relationships. There are lots of surveys on the internet, so do check it out and do try it. This is an example of how we did it in our social media on different languages. We asked those players who they would like to see more in game from our NPCs, Chief Adam, or a delivery man Dave. And Adam won the survey, and we included him during our food truck event as a helper. Actually, Adam is also my favorite character, so I'm very glad that he won. um, and players liked it a lot. They left lots of positive comments, and we were very happy to see them. And players were very happy to see their favorite character. By learning that Adam is liked by a majority of players, we included him in our other events, such as Sugar Rush, where Adam is the main character. And the engagement rate of the event turned out to be quite high, and everyone is happy. Second example of the survey in social media, yeah, this is when we asked people to create their own outfit which they would like to see in game. And our community went crazy. There were lots of art created with different styles, and players voted which one they want to see in game. Yes, so you can guess here maybe which one actually won. And the answer is that both of them won. On the left one is the winner by our internal vote, the development choice. And on the right is the one that was chosen by players. And we tried really hard to replicate them in game. And that's how it looks. I think it's very similar. So we decided to sell those outfits in offers, and players liked it a lot because it was a combined effort to create those style outfits. And the conversion of the offer with these outfits was 5%. And we went further. We did it again. And who do you think won? Yes, that's the last one on the right. But the first one actually got most of likes, and the second one actually was chosen by us. And yeah, the third one, actually, our community thought that it was funny, and they just left lots of reactions in there, and it just didn't leave anyone indifferent. And yeah, we will try very hard to replicate it. And yeah, we thought it's fun to include it as well. And after we showed the results, players were really happy, and they left lots of positive comments and about how, like our humor and stuff like this. And we will add those outfits in our next update. So hold tight. To summarize, the opinion of the players is sometimes bigger than your opinion. So do listen carefully, and don't be afraid to ask. Sometimes I see in different games that they actually include questionnaires in game, and it looks fantastic. They ask lots of different questions, even like, do you like this celebrity or not? And work with data and make data-driven decisions. I think that's all from me today. And thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them.
Thank you very much, Diana. This was great and very interesting to listen to. So first question from me, did you use any site services to run the questionnaires for the audience, or did you develop your own internally?
So we do have a very large community on Facebook and on Instagram. And yeah, we did our questionnaires there.
Okay, thank you very much. And the next question is, so some game developers have a point of view that if they will listen to the audience too much, their game will lose their personality and individuality, and will develop not in the way where they think it should be, but they will just like satisfy very short-term needs of the audience. So my question is, do you think it's always right to listen to the audience and fit and tailor your game to their needs, or sometimes you have to stick to your own way?
Well, it actually depends on the feedback. So if it's a constructive feedback, you should definitely, and you have lots of it, like you have many players who ask for the same thing, you should definitely listen to it. But of course, players tend to ask like, um, give more rubies or give more coins out. Yeah, think of it, yeah, differently.
All right. Yeah.
But
So
of
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Go
it
on.
of course depends on your it depends on your decision.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, when it's some economics decision, you probably have to stick to your own, and when it's something cosmetics, you can change it according to the audience wishes. Um, so I'm checking for the questions right now. Do you think George Carmona asks? Do you think it's a good idea to allow players to vote in a game?
Oh, but it depends on how you implement it. But
Mm-hmm.
of course, why not?
Okay. Well, that's it for now. Thank you very much for a great talk, for sharing the insights on how did you work with players' opinion and questionnaires on Cooking Diary. Guys, if you have any questions to Diana or want to get in touch with MyTona team, they have a very fancy booth on Interactive Expo Zone. Go get in touch with them. Thanks once again, Diana, and have a nice day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.